In this video, we're going to talk about the translations of the sine and cosine graph. So I have written the general form of both sine and cosine. So y equals a times sine quantity bx plus c plus d, and y equals a times cosine quantity bx plus c plus d. So the amplitude is defined as the absolute value of a. The period is equal to 2 pi over the absolute value of b. The phase shift is equal to negative c over the absolute value of b. The vertical shift is equal to d, and you can find the midline using y equals d. So if we looked for just the general y equals sine x graph, we can see that the amplitude will be equal to 1 because the a value is 1. The period is equal to 2 pi because we have 2 pi over the absolute value of b, and in this case b is 1. The phase shift is 0 because there is no c value, so c is 0. And the vertical shift is also equal to 0 because there's no value for d. And the midline would be at y equals 0. So let's do an example that has a transformation. So we have y equals sine quantity x plus pi over 2 and then plus 1. So let's first start by identifying our a, our b, our c, and our d. So a is the value out in front of a sine. So we have a 1, because remember this could have an imaginary 1 right here, but we just don't write it. In front of the b, we also have a 1. Our c value is pi over 2, and our d value is 1. So now we can find that our amplitude is equal to the absolute value of 1, which is 1. Our period is equal to 2 pi over the absolute value of b, which is 1, so that is also equal just to 2 pi. Our phase shift is equal to c, negative c, which is negative pi over 2, over, and then the absolute value of b, which is 1. So that's just equal to negative pi over 2, which means we have shifted pi over 2 to the left. And our vertical shift is equal to d, so that is equal to 1. And that means our midline is at y equals d, or y equals 1. So when you start to graph this, first start by drawing your midline to help you. So this is going to be where all of the points revolve around. So in the original sine graph, you start at the origin and you go up 1, back to the origin, down 1, back to the origin. In this case, we're going to start at 1. So our first point will be starting at 1. That's our midline point. We can see that our period is still 2 pi, and our amplitude is 1. So now we're going to go from 1 to 2 to 1 to 0 to 1, because we're going around the midline. But we can see our phase has shifted from 0 to negative pi over 2. So originally the origin would be at 0, 0, but we know our midline is now 1. So we would think that it would be at 0, 1. But now we have shifted over negative pi over 2. So we'll start here. So we know from that we'll go up 1, back down, down 1, back up. So that would be 1 period, because we can see we've gone up and back down. So I'm just going to go ahead though and fill in from negative 2 pi to 2 pi. So then this would be back up, and over here we'd be down, we'd be and back to the midline and up. So if we connect all of this, we get a graph that looks like this. So this kind of looks like the cosine graph because we've shifted over negative pi over 2.